There is a new mobile game on the horizon. It is called King Arthur Legends Rise, and I've been given the opportunity to play it a little bit in advance of launch and show you just how cool this game is. So thank you to King Arthur Legends Rise for sponsoring this video. I am Colred. This is Colred Plays. Let's get started. I am just a few hours of gameplay into my journey here in King Arthur Legends Rise. Now, King Arthur is one of my favorite historical stories. I studied it for a long time. I've read all of the books, I've watched all of the movies, and there is a ton of story to this game. You should know that right away. Everybody starts with King Arthur. Here he is. As you can see, this is a young King Arthur. So if you have read the books, he has just claimed his crown and he is starting to consolidate the power in Camelot. So King Arthur is a strong character. He is a rare. You may see that up there. Now, in this game, the rarities of the champions are a little bit different than you may be used to. So if we go to the codex here, we can see all of the champions. There are 66 champions currently in the game. I don't know how many will be at launch, but as you can see, a lot of these champions are characters from the books and movies that you may recognize, including Morgan, who is one of the chief antagonists of Arthur. But we also have his advisor, the famous Merlin, one of the great characters in Western literature. And again, as you can see, a younger Merlin here. So pretty cool to get in at the beginning of the story. There are 4 rarities of heroes. Legendaries are the top rarity. Below that, we have rare. So there's no epic level of champions. We go right from legendary to rare. You can see Arthur is a rare champion. He seems very powerful to me in the game. He's one of my best champions so far, even though I do have 2 legendaries. Under rares, you have uncommons and commons, and I love the character designs. Even the commons are very cool looking. The graphics in this game are amazing. The world is beautiful. You'll get to see that when we go out and actually play a little bit of the game. But as you can see, the character design all the way from common up to legendary, some very cool champion designs, a lot of great animations, cool sound effects as well. So this is a top-notch game. If you love great graphics in your game, King Arthur is definitely going to check that box for you. Now, I do want to show you a little bit of my base here. This is Camelot. Again, remember, this is a young King Arthur. So Camelot is also a young capital. There are areas of Camelot that have yet to be unlocked. I believe there are 3 zones you can see hidden here behind the fog and the clouds. But so far, even at the basic level, Camelot has a lot of different things to do. We have a training camp. We have the Mage's Tower. We've got a market. We've also got Lake Avalon. The Lady of the Lake is where you summon both your champions and your relics for those champions, which is pretty cool. In fact, we're going to summon some champions right now. So I've been saving up. We have a normal summons. You can see normal summons will give you common to rares. So I'm going to go ahead and do a 10 pull of this right now. We're going to hope for a new rare. That would be fun. Let's just go ahead and try that out. So this is the summon screen. You get the Excalibur sword here, and then you go ahead and click Arthur pulls Excalibur. And you can see, okay, so we got an uncommon here. Luke, who's actually fairly solid. I want to say that the uncommons are more powerful than you might be used to in other games. They're still not the top rarity, but Luke is no joke. He's a healer. He does AoE damage as well. He's a really good champion. Let's go ahead and check out the special summons now. So special summons gives you an uncommon to legendary. I don't have 10 of these, but I do have 8. So let's do a couple of these and see if we can get a new legendary hero. See if we can get a legendary. Oh, another rare. Rares are good. Remember, rares are very good. They're the second highest rarity. Ooh, and Kieran, who is a new rare for my account. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to have to check out these champions in just a bit. I'll show you some of what makes these champions tick. All right, and then our final Douglas. Like I said, these uncommons are pretty cool looking. So let's go ahead and take a look at the champions. You can see what goes into a champion. So there are several ways you can power up your champions. As you can see, Arthur here is level 19 out of 20, and he's 2 stars. One of the really nice differences in this game is that you don't have to get duplicates in order to add stars to your champions, you just have to collect materials that you can farm from specific dungeons. So if we want to advance Arthur here when he gets to 20, we're going to need these materials, and we can get these materials from these locations. So you can buy them in the market, you can synthesize them, you can also get them at the Plane of Beasts, and if you just click on this arrow, it will take you to the Plane of Beasts. We can go here, and we could go ahead and fight Penvide here, who is the holder of these resources, and then we could go ahead and get these resources. So you don't have to just pull and pull and pull and get copies of champions and turn them into food. You can actually advance your champions here through dungeon play, which I really appreciate because, man, it is exhausting just going for, you know, food champions to advance your chosen squad. Have this depth, this rich story here in King Arthur if you like that kind of thing. And if you don't, by the way, you can skip the story. You don't have to get into it, but it's there if you, like me, really enjoy the story. So now there is a story line of combat, and you kind of follow through the main story. You can see here there are chapters. I have completed chapter 3. I'm currently in chapter 4, but much like in other games, you get stars for meeting certain conditions for the story chapters. And so if I go into this fight, I can rebattle at any time afterwards. So I'm going to go ahead and try this. I'm going to show you the combat. We're going to see if I can get 3 stars here. Now, this is my team. I have a team of 4 champions. You can see the levels that I have on each of the champions. Now, if you go here and click on this exclamation point, you can see there's a power level here. That's the enemy's power level. This is my power level. If you go here, it'll say recommended stage conditions. Heroes should be level 12. And as you can see, all of my heroes meet that level 12, condition. I've got a healer, I've got a tank, I've got 2 damage dealers. And again, you can also see which elements are here. Here's the little triangle. You can see that Storm is strong against Frost, Frost is strong against Fire, and Fire is strong against Storm. And then you can also see that Isolde is Frost. So if I want strong champions, I actually want Storm abilities. Now I can come in here and I can change Excalibur because I've actually collected another weapon for Arthur that is Storm. So I can change him from Fire to Storm, making him stronger in this fight than he would be otherwise. And every single champion has that option, although I haven't unlocked all of the weapons or all of the relics for all of these champions. But we're going to go ahead and start the battle here so that you can see what the gameplay looks like. Now, most boss fights, you get a cool little animation like this. This is Isolde. She is a collectible champion, but we're also going to fight against her. So you can speed the battle up 1 times, 2 times, or 3 times. You can also do auto battle. Another cool thing going on here is you have 2 different cameras. So you have camera angle 1 and camera angle 2, and you can decide which you prefer. And then finally, if you click tab or you go up to this icon up at the top, you can get a very detailed description of what is currently going on. So this is the current condition of the champions. You can go to the skill info and then cycle through the skills of both your champions and the enemies so you can see what they do. And then you can also look at permanent effects that are being applied. One of the permanent effects is an environmental effect. It's about weather. There is weather in this game that affects battle, and that's really cool. Now, the combat here is pretty cool. You can see this bar down here at the bottom that says 5, and there are 5 little blue sections. This is your vigor. Now, your team has shared vigor. This is kind of a different combat concept to me, but each of your skills either costs vigor or returns vigor. So the A1 will always give you 1 point of vigor. You also get 1 point of vigor for each turn that you take. So the next champion will start with 1 point more vigor than the last champion ended with. And it's shared. So let's say I use a 3-point skill here. By the way, you can see the effects of the environmental affinities up here. So I'm going to go ahead and use my A3, which is my big skill, against this champion here. It can be a nice big nuke. Wiped her out. Now, we used 3 vigor, but you can see there, 1 returned when my next turn happened. By the way, over here right next to me, you can see the turn order of the champions, so you never have to guess who's going to go next. Now, again, I could get more vigor by using my A1, or I could expend vigor by using my A2 or A3, but we're just going to have Luke here go ahead, and remember, he's Frost, so Frost does well into fire, and you can see that plus 25% above those champions' heads. That's because they're fire champions, and Luke is going to do better into those two champions. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this top champion here. I'll go ahead and show you the other camera angle as well. So this is the other camera angle for this location. And like I said, you can speed up the battle. So let's go to ×2 speed. And I'm going to just put it on auto battle. As you can see, you know, there's a lot going on. The attack animations are pretty cool. We do have sort of a cinematic version of a view here. I'm going to go back to sort of the bird's eye vision. It jumps around a little bit less. I like this camera angle a little bit better for my personal taste, at least at high speeds. At the low speeds, it seems to be really cool to use the cinematic camera, but it's up to you. I like that they give us the option. And again, you can see, you know, the auto battle's solid, but you're going to get a little bit of a benefit out of manualing and learning all of the abilities that your champions have. So I didn't get 3 stars here because I didn't use 2 or more flame heroes. In fact, I used no flame heroes. So that's why I'm stuck at 2 stars here. So I need either to swap out my heroes and put some flame heroes in, or I need to find flame relics for the champions that I already own. This is what I've been doing for the last couple of days. It's really fun. There's a lot in the castle that we haven't gotten to. There are so many characters. In fact, sometimes even Merlin shows up just to give you like some advice, and he tells you cool things, and you know, like, all right, this is fun. This is really fun to get into the world of Camelot and King Arthur. All right, so that is it for this particular video. I hope this is intriguing to you. I will be playing King Arthur Legends Rise all month. I'm going to bring you at least 3 more videos after this one. If you are interested in joining me, let me know. I'm going to set up a little channel in my Discord so we can discuss the game as well. Thanks again to King Arthur Legends Rise for sponsoring this video. I have been Colred. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you in another video soon.